to InfoHub. In our headlines, Region 7 zeroes in on quality education. Farina fiesta held at Heritage Village. A project which will greatly benefit the indigenous community has been launched. City Hall proposes littering bylaws and the HPV campaign to be relaunched. Stay tuned for the details of these and more. Now for the details. Region 7 educators to place much emphasis on education. Tiffany Rodius explains.
Regional Education Officer Akbar Chindu said the region will be working with teachers in tandem with this year's theme of promoting wellness in communities through quality education.
This year I'm trying to put a little more focus on the teachers. All the previous years the focus was more on the children, so we're trying to go teachers, and also with the team we're going to be tackling the parents also. So our visits to the various communities, we work with the parents, and we have something special for the teacher this year.
The Regional Education Officer also met with head teachers to outline his expectations for the new school term.
I had all teachers in Upper Mazruni at one location for 3 days, where we discussed all of their issues, their challenges, and what we can do.
Chindu said that remedial and cleanup works are in the final stages to ensure a safe and healthy school environment for the new school term. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
In an effort to promote Farina's use commercially, the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs hosted a Farina fiesta on Monday at the Heritage Village. Delicia Haynes has more.
The event is a collaborative effort between the Guyana Marketing Corporation, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture, and the Amerindian Development Fund.
The idea was basically brought out because of the fact that there are so many groups we recognize in the hinterland region that are involved in the production of farina. Unfortunately, many persons on the coastline, they really do not know how to consume farina and the products that you can get out of farina. So we thought of this initiative to basically highlight some of the contemporary or traditional products that we can basically have out of farina, with the idea of having more persons utilize this commodity.
Farina is a traditional indigenous people's staple made from cassava roots. The word farina is from the Portuguese word farina, which means flour. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture assisted in the financing and preparation of various farina-made dishes offered for sampling and purchase. This was with the assistance of the Woweta Women's Agro-Processors Group, said Representative Grace Albert.
The foreign and beef that I have here displaying is something that we in the Rupununi Region 9 have as our meal, and it's one of food that we preserve for like a hardship if you are traveling a distance or going somewhere that we think you wouldn't be able to get fast food. Foreign and beef can take like about a month. Depends on how you cook it. If you have it foreign and beef itself alone, it will go for that. But to have it more flavored.
Agencies renowned for the preparation of large quantities of food were invited to the event. Some of these included the Guyana School of Agriculture, the Guyana Prison Service, and Carnegie School of Economics. These organizations all use farina in their meal preparations and hope to broaden their knowledge of the staple through this initiative. Delicia Haynes for InfoHub.
The Mayor and City Council are proposing to introduce littering bylaws to address the city's garbage challenge. More on this, Delicia Haynes report.
The proposal for the laws are as a direct result of citizens carelessly disposing of garbage in and around the capital city. This was disclosed by Town Clerk Royston King during a press conference this morning. The bylaws will introduce a ticketing system which will impose immediate fines on litterbugs.
The ticketing system will allow, one, people to be properly sanctioned who litter the city, who mess up the city or the environment, and two, it will give the council an opportunity to garner revenue, to do the work, to police the bylaws, to police the littering bylaws. At the moment, we don't get that. If we pass these bylaws, we will definitely get that revenue coming into the council.
Under the proposed bylaws, perpetrators would be fined up to $100,000 once caught littering. The laws will be sent to the Minister of Communities for approval and is expected to be in full effect by the end of October.
We are putting in place stiffer fines for those people who are hurting the environment by being indisciplined in the way they dispose of their waste. We could not manage the city in the way that it is currently going. We could not be cleaning and have people just littering with gay abundance. I mean, you go any part of this city and you will see what I'm talking about. And I believe that because we do not have these penalties and fines in place, people find an incentive to do what they're doing.
Additionally, the MNCC will be implementing a program called Name and Shame that will publicly display the faces of perpetrators. The town clerk said that this is another system geared at deterring persons from defacing the city. Delicia Haynes for InfoHub.
An integrating traditional knowledge project has been launched, which will greatly benefit the indigenous community. Launched last evening at the British High Commissioner's Bel Air residence, Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Allicock said the project will see the incorporation of traditional knowledge into a biodiversity plan. This, he added, could reduce poverty in the indigenous communities. He also hopes that it will result in a national action plan to protect traditional knowledge in Guyana.
Important to us is that this project is aligned to the ACHI Biodiversity Target 18, which is traditional knowledge respected and protected. In Guyana, our traditional knowledge is quickly disappearing, and if we have no proper and approved recorded documentation on traditional knowledge, we will certainly lose it.
The venture is being undertaken by the Darwin Initiative, which was launched by United Kingdom at the Rare Earth Summit in 1992. It is funded by the UK government's Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs and other partners. Project leader Jay Mistry explained that the project will take a threefold approach and serve as a pilot for the rest of the Guyana Shield.
So it's really about biodiversity and poverty alleviation. You have to be seen to be kind of hitting the targets for two of these things. So that's what we're going to try to do that. And hopefully we can put this process or, our findings into a national policy. But we're also looking on how we could replicate some of the findings within the Guyana Shield region, because in a previous project we've worked throughout the Guyana Shield.
The program began in July 2017 and is expected to end in 2021. Minister Carl Greenwich, performing the function of Prime Minister, Minister Ronald Bulkan, and Minister Valerie Garrido were also in attendance at the project's launch. Gabriela Patram turns the spotlight on two talented artists whose work have been receiving rave reviews at the Heritage Exhibition in Sophia.
17-year-old Ransford Simon from rural village North Rupununi is aspiring to be a photorealistic artist, creating drawings from pencil, ink, and paint that appear like photographs. Currently a final year student at the Burroughs School of Art, Simon noted it was his dream to attend a higher art institute and further develop his talent. He told InfoHub that he began drawing from a tender age and was always trying to get someone to sit still so he could sketch the perfect image. Recognition of his talent and ensuring his culture remains alive are Simon's reasons for exhibiting his work at the Heritage Village.
I feel good because most of the viewers just come and look like working on my works and saying like, buy this in quality, it feel good to know that people appreciate your work, people like your work, people feel connected in some way that I try to push out to get people to feel connected with nature mostly, because I'm a Amerindian and I go with Team Nature mostly. It feels good to know that people appreciate your work.
19-year-old Jerry Marco from Waweta Village, Region 9, loves to draw and paint just about anything. He explains how he developed his love for paintings and drawings.
My brother-in-law used to draw, and I used to watch at him drawing. Never know I could do this. And Well, actually, I started when I was 6, but I never had a chance to get a drawing book. And I used to pick up like small things like woods, sticks to make a sculpture piece. And then I went to a nice secondary school where I get my secondary level. And Godfrey Alexander went and taught me. And he taught me and based on a drawing to show main points, to show the 3D art in the paper.
Marco aspires to become a famous artist. He shares his reasons for exhibiting his skills at the Heritage Village.
I want to show people my art, recognize my own, my own tradition. I want to people recognize me on my own artwork.
Do ensure that you check out these two talented artists when you visit the Heritage Village, and you can have them sketch your portrait. Gabrielle Patram for InfoHub.
Crystal Stahl joins us to tell us that the human papillomavirus vaccination HPV countrywide campaign will be relaunched in October.
At a press conference this morning, the Pan American Health Organization and World Health Organization, in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Health, announced plans to immunize approximately 36,000 girls between the ages of 9 to 16 years within the first phase of the relaunch. Dr. Ertinessa Hamilton, Maternal and Child Health Officer Acton, said with the aim of reducing cervical cancer locally, they will be partnering with a number of stakeholders.
In the week of October the 16th is when we hope to have our countrywide implementation. We will be working in conjunction with the Ministry of Education to immunize girls in school. We have already begun the partnership with our private pediatricians for mothers who do not want to take their child to have the vaccine in school, that they can actually take them to the pediatrician who will give them the vaccine. And for all girls that we cannot, especially in the remote areas or those who are out of school, to have outreach activities in the regions, in their villages, so that we can get every girl within that age group immunized.
PAHO WHO representative Dr. William Adukro reminded that the HPV vaccine is not new, as it has been administered in several countries. He described it as having the best chance of preventing cervical cancer. According to PAHO, WHO and public health reviews, cervical cancer is the second most common cancer among Guyanese women.
The Ministry of Public Health Guyana conducted a review of cancers over the 10-year period. The data gathered in this study is consistent with the WHO statistics presented, with cervical cancer being the second most common cancer in the population of Guyanese women.
Dr. Ertinessa Hamilton said to address the stigma against the vaccine, the team will utilize a communication campaign to get stakeholders on board.
So we recognize that a lot that came out from that had to do with not having enough information. And that's why the focus this time around is having a communication campaign where we have enough information out to the crowd, out to the general public.
Hamilton said while the team will look to immunize boys in the future, it aims to immunize 95% girls with hopes to protect boys as well. Crystal Stahl for InfoHub.
Senior citizens will now be able to complete their transactions in comfort at the Guyana Post Office Corporation Carmichael Street branch. Gabriella Patram has the details.
This is due to the generosity of the Lions Club International, who donated 2 benches today to the GPOC branch for the benefit of elderly customers.
We're very thankful for. You've heard some of the appeals that we've made and the pensioners would have made to have accommodation available, and we're very thankful.
Lions International, we're proud to donate these benches to the Guyana Post Office. They asked us to assist us. And we come on board because the pensioners will be using it.
This initiative is in keeping with the Lions Club International corporate responsibility to meet the needs of communities in any shape or form. Gabrielle Patram for InfoHub.
Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.